Everybody should have that first bit saying start here. That looks like a computer page. Everybody sees that? If it goes off, just touch the screen. Alright, we have here, these are the pens, call them. So they are touch screen. So you would just touch them lightly and you would get to what option you want. If you want to go back, you just basically say OK in the corner and you go back to any page. Alright, so we are going to start on the start button. Okay, because these are attributes to the GPS unit itself. Alright, so we go to the start, we take the cursor and we turn the start in the top left corner here. It opens like your same computer page. Basically, when you create the point, you will go back to this page and it will tell you what you want to do. If it's a terrestrial, meaning land-based feature, or if it's coastal, if it's a water-based feature. So we have your aquatic area. So as I mentioned, the GPS can record a number of things and in a number of ways. So we could record points, lines, and polygons or area forms, right? You understand that? Okay, so here we see each one has aquatic area or an aquatic polygon. So, for example, Dome people are very interested in the organic agriculture and organic farms and actually abandoned farms. So that would be an area, for example. So what you do, start at one point, GPS is advanced again, you would look for the option here, the area, so it's going to record it as a line feature, okay? So what you do, you start at one point on an abandoned farm and walk around that. So the GPS would be recording, as I mentioned, you could go on your map page, you would see that you're actually making a circle. You would see it being drawn automatically, all right? And when you stop, you create that, and that would be a polygon, all right? So Donna would have mapped an abandoned farm where most likely organic agriculture could be introduced, all right? Duasco wants to map a river to put a water dam, etc. They need to know the river, the shape of the river, etc. They could go on an aquatic line feature, okay? Start at the top of a river, mark your point, and walk along. So the GPS, as I mentioned on the map page, would be recording that line, every shape, every bend, all right? And at the end, you would mark that. So to take it as a river feature, as a line, okay? Or a road could come as a line, etc. All right? But then you could have an aquatic point. Okay, an aquatic point could be along the coast. For example, if you want to mark every estuary, the end of every river, you could take it as a point. If you want to mark where coastal forests are, maybe you might do an area, or just to know the point where it is located, you could take a point. Maybe there's an important species of plant, or maybe a nesting area for turtles. You could take the points, along the coast, so you have a point feature. All right, so to be represented as the map shown before a point. You could, all right. There are different ways you could represent the points, the different ways you could represent the line, and different ways you could represent the areas or the polygons. All right. So as you see below, again, so we have, that was aquatic. Now we have area, genetic. We have coastal line, coastal area, coastal line, coastal point. It could be the same again. Aquatic, as I mentioned, would more be related to freshwater bodies, the rivers, maybe a lake, a freshwater swamp, etc. The coastal area would be related to coastal vegetation. As I mentioned, maybe the estuaries, the end of every river, where nesting turtles are. Iguanas also nest on the beaches, so you could have points of those where they are nested. Or you could have a coastal, you could have the line generic point of terrestrial. That's for land-based activities. For example, the gardens. If you went to the gardens here, and we're going to do the road passing through the garden, which eventually they want to remove because it's a botanical garden, it's not actually a highway. So I am quite happy they're going to remove the road. But if you had to map the road in the gardens, you would choose right here, line generic, okay? Because we're on a terrestrial attribute or terrestrial feature. All right. We could have point if we're gonna say where the birds, the parrot birds, the how you call it, the bird sanctuary is held. I know they have the Quapo farm, the Quapo facility there. So we could actually take like a point generic where actually that is located. All right. Or we could do an area, for example, the playing field in the gardens. You want to know that area, you want to map that area. Okay, we will take terrestrial area and mark that. Start on one area, do it, and when you complete, the GPS will record it as an area. All right. So we see how we're going to choose what we want to do. So obviously we are on the land, so we're going to choose the land-based features here, all right, for feature name, the line generic, the point, and the terrestrial. So that's what we're dealing with today. If we are on the coast, we would choose the coastal. If we are doing aquatic bodies, freshwater, rivers, lakes, etc., we'd use those up there. All right. Okay. So, I won't go into taking a point here. We'll stay here for now, because what we're gonna do, if anytime from here we press create here, we're gonna be ready to take a point. And if we don't have satellites, all right, so we're not going to have any reading of anything. So the point is basically not going to be valid. All right, it's not going to be representative of anything. All right. So we will stop here for now. So when you get to the gardens, we'll continue from here. The keypad comes up, with your everything to write. Close it, it goes, all right? So we open it, and now we write in here, okay? So we're going to put sweet, see? Almost like a computer, your word spells come in one time, so you can choose sweet here. Sweet lime, L-I-M-E, sweet lime, H. Okay, so that's our first point. So when we do that, we write our information. You're making sure you write the information first of the point, and then you press OK. All right, everybody, look at it. What are the OK? It's in the OK, the little red button, the little red thing. Yeah. OK. You all see OK? See OK there? So once you press OK, that's your first point.
Now we're going to take our next point from that tree to the next tree.
One and all, everybody, boy, na 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 na, yeah man, we got to protect the environment, man. Talking to the people everywhere in the world, man. Yeah, man, we got to take care of this environment, man. Take care of this earth. Yeah, we really got to. Listen now, boom. Oh, the life we live, some of the things we do will have a negative impact on us. It's so true. Take a look around, see what's going on. See our actions causing global warming everywhere. Rivers don't flow no more like they did before. Trees are being cut down and fish are dying at our shores. We can save this place.